building. Settle on in, and thank you for coming down and checking out part 2. It won't be that long.
All inside. Building a machine, making it look mean, a super fast machine. Building power and it's lean, a powerful machine. It's alive, it's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you knew, and the power is all inside. It's not that hard if you knew, and the power is all inside. It's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you knew, and the power is all.
All right, what's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, and we're gonna get ready to do this again. We have 57 seconds. But I think we're ready. I'm pretty sure we're ready for this. Are you ready? I'm ready. If you're ready, I'm ready. We're all ready.
Building a machine. I'm building a machine.
All right, what's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine. Put in a geek and you got me. And today we are doing part 2 of the build, the overall build. So basically, what happened? I'll give you the quick rundown. I ended up getting to the point. Oh, gotta stop that.
I'm building a machine.
There we go. Sorry about that. Let's do that again. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine, Think Magazine, Put in Geek, and we are on the second part of this computer build. Quick rundown of what happened. So my old computer decided to not work anymore, and I spent some money to upgrade the board, upgrade the processor, upgrade the memory. To something a little bit faster, a little bit better, and hopefully get me through the next few years as well. We did this on Friday night. Spent a couple hours putting it all together, and I ran into actually a couple small snags. The first one was, I was almost 100% that the heat sink was going to be able to be used. This is a radiator heat sink, water cooler, and I wasn't sure the way the processor was set up, but I confirmed, and so now the cooler master is what I'm putting in here. And the other thing was the power supply. I thought I had a PCIe 5.0 power supply in here, and it turned out I didn't, and because that was sitting in my storage locker. So that was a trip over to the storage locker to get some stuff. I had to go over there anyway and grab some stuff anyway. So here's where we land with this. Let me go over here. There we go. So right now, what I decided to do was I didn't have a good place to put my M2 drives, so I put them in the machine. And because of that, I also put in my graphics card and my capture card, the Decklink Duo card, into the machine. I also decided to put all wiring together, the stuff that we didn't talk about, like for instance the fan. I put all the power wiring together. Everything's wired up. It didn't make much sense to go through it at that time because it's a lot of frustrating needling through the machine itself, and so it's just better that I did that on my own. That took about 40-50 minutes on its own. So that's where we are right now. And so here is that's the wrong one. I'm trying to remember all these. There we go. Here's the case. So right now it's got the power supply in. The power supply is a Thermaltake Tough Power 850 watt power supply, and I've got it all wired up. Although I have this wired up to one of the older plugs, but this motherboard actually does have an RGB. I should have known that. It does have an RGB up there. Let's scroll up a little bit and maybe even zoom in so you can see it. There we go, and up. So, oops. There it is. So there it is right there. That is where I can plug in my lights. I really don't care too much about the RGB part of things, but I'll have a few lights. I mean, the Cooler Master does have a light on it, and there are a couple RGBs here in the board, so it'll have a little bit of light to it. But I really don't care about lighting up this processor, this board, or anything like that. Speaking of the processor, this is the processor right here. I have not opened it because nowadays the way that they have these things set up, it's these pins right here that can bend really easily. And we saw the chip on the last one. In fact, I'll pull it out right here. I love this. This is where the chip is. It's in its own little silicon fab type thing. And I'll pop it open and I'll pull it out. So there's the chip right there. And the thing about this chip is it's more rectangular to a square chip that I was used to with the 11th generation. And so I wanted to make sure that this Cooler Master, because this is actually a few years old, I don't even know if you can get this Cooler Master anymore. But if I do it like this, it's going to be a little bit tight to do. But if I do it like this, it will fit the processor. Because look at the back here. You'll see the back. You'll see the copper, but you'll also see these screws. And the last thing I want to do is actually have the processor lying on one of those screws. You see? So I have to have it like that, so it will hit the screws properly. Now, like I said, I did the research, and it says that this Cooler Master is just fine for that. But if I run into problems, I'm probably going to change it out. Simple as that. But anyway, so where are we? There we are. So at any rate, so I am. That's where I am with this whole thing. So everything, the M2 drives are in place, and the interesting thing about those M2 drives is the screw that you use for the M2 drive. We pulled it out, and I showed you in all these things. Let's see if I can find it really quick. And all these little plastic bags that we got. That's the power. I'll set that to the side here. I'll set some of this stuff to the side as well. Um, Here they are, right here. So if we go back over here, these are the these are just basically the screws, and they have a really weird cap. Well, apparently in the documentation they explain what these caps are. So you don't take the screws out anymore on an M2 drive. So you basically put down your M2 where their little screw hole is, and then there's like this little gray plastic piece on it that you just basically shift over from one area to the other, and boom, they're in the M2 spots. In fact, the two M2 spots that I have them in, let's lower this down a little bit. Hopefully not, it won't go hog wild again. So this is the first M2 right here. That's the primary drive, my C drive or whatever you want to call it. And then the second one is right underneath the graphics card. I don't know if you'll be. I can lower it. It's right on the bottom edge of that. You won't be able to see it. But the whole point is that both of them are in place. I took the screws out. We took the. They both have heatsink on them. That's a heatsink tape. So they have these little blue things on. You got to pull the blue things off so it connects up with the M2 drive. Otherwise, you can hurt your machine. And then I locked them into place, and then I screwed it down, and now they're in place. Same thing with the graphics card right here. My 4070 is just sitting here, and you know, looks good. Both cards are in, no problems. I even have the you can see right there. I have the weight hanger, whatever the basically, so this side doesn't hang down too much. Set up onto the drive. And then we have underneath, that's my 8 terabyte spinning hard drive, which I'm going to have to replace, but it is a backup. So if this drive was to die tomorrow, all it's doing is backing up files from 2 or 3 years. And so I could easily replace that. That's the only reason why I have that a spinning drive into my computer. I think it's very important to have that. But here's the thermal take. The Tough Power GX3 model, which, like I said, I had in my storage locker. I should have just grabbed it last time I was there, but it helped because like I said, I had to go to the storage locker anyway. So this is the case as it is right now. Now, like I said, I did not touch the CPU because of the pins, but I definitely did pull this out, and I did do a quick wipe down on the top of this. I also took my Cooler Master and I took some rubbing alcohol and cloth. I should probably do it again since it's just hanging, but made sure that all that thermal paste was off of this thing. That's very important because you don't want to have any type of thermal issues with that. The next thing I did do a little bit more reading and on here, and I only have 2 DIMMs for this system. 2 32 gigabyte DIMMs. So I thought that they were supposed to go into spot 1 and 2, but they actually go into spot 3 and 4. I'll have to I want to double check that before I do it. But what I was reading is they want these, or is it? No, it's these 2, the first and the third, to be no, the second and the fourth to be filled. That's right, second and the fourth to be filled. You see, I already forgetting, so I want to make absolutely sure. So I thought it was going to be, because this is A1, A2, B1, B2, but they want A1, B1, A2, B2. I think that's how that goes. So some other things, I have the back piece on for the Cooler Master, and I do have 1 screw down there, and the other ones I thought I lost for a second, but then I found them. And so there they are. And I'm just going to check a couple things here really quick before we continue on. Yeah, everything's looking good. Oh, I should have put that on a playlist. Hold on. I'll just save that really quick. And I will state this again. No, we did not alter any content. I'll just say save. I will state this again. I paid for all of this out of my own pocket because I needed a new machine. So all opinions are my own. Nobody's sponsoring this video by any means. So, but you know, down the road we might get some sponsors for it. But for now, it's just out of my own pocket so I can get this computer back up and running. So, all right. You don't need to see that. There we go. We're here. And let's see. Got that. We're going to go over here. And I'm just going to do a quick check on something. Should be public. Yeah, we're public. So, all right, leave that at that. We'll minimize that for now. Let's go ahead and get this going. And I don't have, you can't see me on this. I'm back here because this is upright. I'm gonna flip this on its side, and we're gonna finish this up, and probably go to the overhead shot here. So, here we go. Got to get the microphone up again. There we go. Perfect. So, like I said, probably one of the most important factors is that processor. I'm going to try and get that over there. There we go. This processor right here. Very important. Get it in the light. There we go. Very important to probably not even touch it. I don't even have the thing out. I should have pulled this open to inspect the pins, and because if there's any bent pins in here right now, we're dead in the water. So let me just pop this open. I'm gonna be very, very careful with this. And this is a new way to do it. So I lifted this up, and last time it would bring up the cage and it would flip this way. This cage flips the other way. So we'll flip it nice and gentle. And there's our pins, all of them. I'm going to take a quick inspection of said pins. Raise this up so you can see me. Hi, how's it going? I'm right here. There we go. Which camera am I looking at? That's the real question. All right, so looking close at the pins, and my head might get in the way. Sorry about that. And I don't know. I think this is zoomed in all the way. Let me just zoom it in some more. Yeah, there we go. So that is it's important to make sure that everything looks patternistic, and you don't see anything odd out of that, because if it's odd, then we have a problem. So let's take a look. And I know it's hard to see. Sometimes you might need a magnifying glass. And whatever you do, if you're hovering, like I'm hovering this light over here, I am not hovering it over the processor, because if I was to drop this light and it was to go over there and bend some pins, I would be, once again, dead in the water. Don't want to be dead in the water. All right. All the pins look pretty good. If one is bent, I'd be very, very surprised. So let's go ahead. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our processor. I've already inspected that. It's basically flat. There are no pins, nothing sticking out from here. And it's actually a pretty ingenious thing from Intel, because they expect the motherboard to take care of the pins. And if there was a pin that was out, bent, or anything like that, yeah, you could bend it back into place. It takes a lot of work, and you might need a heat gun, and you might take out other pins in the process. So this is the only thing that I really am concerned about in this whole build. And it's always been with the processor. So doing this at, check and recheck 100 times over, very important, I think. So Alex says, hi, how you doing, Alex? And what we're doing is we're going to put a processor into a motherboard. Once again, this is the Core i9 series processor. I'm going to put this light in the spot where you'll be able to see something. There we go. How's that? All right. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm not going to be bending over the processor. And once I put this in, I'm going to close it up, and that's going to be done with that part. So here's the processor. We're already electro grounded. And in this processor, I see two indentions right here, and then down here and down here. But I'm going to go with the fact that the print is right here. That's the way this is going to go. I don't see another notch. Do I see a corner? I do not. But the way these notches are, if I flip it around, yeah, they wouldn't go into the notch spots, which you can see on the processor. So let's go ahead gently, and I will probably just straight up there we go. Ooh, I gotta pop this out first. And I'm gonna take this out. So I'm not sure how this pops out. Again. Huh. There we go. Ever so careful. Bring this back up. CPU. Gently set it down. Do not rock it. Put it back down. Hook it in. And we're good. Not doing anything else with this. That's done. So if you have to reseat it, like I said, what you want to do is you want to open it up, take the chip out, watch for the pins, and then put it back in. So, all right, we got the CPU in. We're going to put the Cooler Master in next. Like I said, this Cooler Master, I don't want these screws to get in the way. So I'm going to be putting it in like so. So to do that, I got some thermal paste. And like I said, I wiped everything down. Try not, when you do this, try not to touch the surface. Try not to touch the top plate here, and try not to touch the copper, because a fingerprint, you know, we always learned the fingerprint can be problematic. What do I do with the thermal paste? I can't find the thermal paste. I'm dead in the water again. Maybe it's in the box. I swore I put it right here. freaking believable. Here it is. Phew. All right, so thermal paste, very important. A lot of motherboards, a lot of CPUs don't come with thermal paste. So if you're doing this, make sure you have your brand of thermal paste. It doesn't need to be much. It's about the size of a pea. And if you don't know what the size of a pea is, you might want to go into your freezer or your fridge and grab a pea and then put that. And we're going to put it right in the middle here. Oh, it pops out by itself as you tighten it. I did not know that. Interesting. Thanks, Ellen. You know, I popped it out, unfortunately. So keep in mind, you're not going to use this whole thing, but you want to be, once again, you want to be very, very careful when you do this. Right smack dab in the middle. And this is rectangular, so I'm going to use, there's like the serial number, and then there's a, yeah, I think that's the serial number. I'm just going to put size of a pea right there. There we go. And Alex, if this is changed in thermal paste, let me know before I clamp this down. I do have, I'm going to have to do this on, I'm going to try and not do this. I want to do this flat, so I got the cage on, and I only had one screw on the cage. So I'm going to lift this up a little bit. I'm going to hold on to that back part for the cooling piece. I'm doing it slow just in case Alex comes back and says, no, you need more or less or whatever. And then I'm going to take the radiator. I'm going to try and go as flat as possible. That didn't do it. Getting it over the screws to begin with. There we go. These are popping out, so I'm going to put one screw in. Go. And I just realized the other screws are over there. Let's see if I can do some. Here we go. Got it. All right. Bring that down. I'm going to try and tighten this as much as possible. Not too much though. Just enough so it keeps the other sides down. Ah, that didn't work. You need like 5 hands. Both of them are tightened down. I'll be nice and gentle. Taking my hand out. Now we'll get the other one in here. It's always a good idea to monitor the heat on once you've put together a machine. go. Feels pretty solid. We will tighten this down gently. Don't overforce it. There we go. Now, processor's on. It's looking pretty good. Doesn't feel upside, doesn't feel like there's any spots. I don't see any problems there. So we're good here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put our memory in. And once again, I'm going to double check on that manual, because I'm pretty sure I have to do it in A1 and B1. So there you are. Huh. So I think what's happening is this manual, I don't think talks about it, whereas I was reading the manual online and it talked about where to put the DIMMs. And double check. Here we go. All right, recommended. Okay, so yeah, it's A2 and B2, which is the second one and fourth one from the left. So get our light in the case again so we can see what's going on. And I haven't played with these, so sometimes they have, yeah, this the side closest to me is not a pullable pin, whereas the side away, these are little latches that you can flip up and down. So I'm going to flip up A2 and B2. So you're going to put them in as evenly as possible, but keep in mind that these don't open up. So I'm properly grounded. There we go. Fury Beast DDR5 memory. They'll only go in one way. Ooh. Hold on. Got a broken nail. Don't want to get into the system here. All right. So the first one we're going to put into A2. Got a nice click. Awesome. And then the second 32 we're going to put in B2. I love the fact that these little LED flashlight things, because I can really get them in and look at them. And when I used to do lots of board building, you know, you had the old D-cell battery flashlights back in my day. Yeah. So, all right. I think that's it. We got the processor in, we got the memory in. I checked the board before I started this, and everything seemed to light up properly. I seated all the power cables. There's one right here. The main one's right here. And we have a PCIe right here. I don't have a USB-C on the top of the board, so that's what this one is right here. And then over here we have two PCIe's that are also seated in here. So, all right. And I think once again these are tight. These are good to go. This is the only thing that's not plugged in here, I think. Maybe I did plug that in. I'm going to leave the RGB as it is, but I want to make sure that this doesn't have a loose. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. I'm just going to plug this into this unit, but I'm going to change this out because once again, I did find that there is an RGB plug in here. So that's all pinned out. So it should light up. Once again, I really don't care about that. But let's go ahead. I'm just going to plug it in, turn it on, see what happens. I know, famous last words, right? Pop it on. You see the LED lights are going. Piece of dust. And it's showing amber. I don't remember what the amber light means. Whoops. Well, that's not good. I don't know. But maybe I plug in a HDMI cable. I'll be able to see. It might just say that it hasn't found a video card or a video monitor. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And I'm not seeing anything. It's that amber one. Which one's the amber one? Oh, it turned off. And it's going through a reboot. Oh, okay. So I think what it's doing is it's trying to find everything right now. And I might just move my HDMI over to my video card. It's probably not a bad idea. Might be doing it one more time. It's configuring the BIOS most likely. This part is waiting. Sorry, Devoa, I cannot help you right now. We are doing something ourselves. Alright, it just turned itself off. Turned it back on. This is to be expected. I'm not freaking out. I'm not freaking out. We got a white light. There we go. Okay. So it says a new CPU. You can't see that. Let's see if I can. If this will work if I do this. You can't see it. If I turn it, you can probably see it. All right. Like that. Yeah, you'll be able to see that. Awesome. Awesome. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Over there, up there. All right. So, you can see that. It says got 64 gigs of memory in there. That's good. DDR5. Awesome. It can see both of my drives. That's awesome. It says a new CPU has been installed. Before making any adjustments to the BIOS, please press F5 and load factory default settings. No keyboard detected, of course. I have a keyboard over there. Let me grab that, pull that off that machine, because I don't want to pull it off of this machine. So we can press that F5 key. All right. Let's put it right there. There we go. And I might have to restart. Let's try and... Yeah, the keyboard's not lighting up. So I'm going to restart this. Sorry. This is a 1080p monitor. I'm actually going to be replacing this soon. So, dust and dirt, it happens. Is that a computer? Says Tyler. Yeah, it is. Absolutely, it's a computer. We're rebuilding. I'm rebuilding my main system, which decided to die. So, so just to recap everything while this is rebooting. Let's do this. So what we have here, the ProArt Z790 Creator motherboard is right here. We got a GeForce 4070 card in here from Tough Gaming. We've got the Thermaltake Tough Power GX3 for power. I have my Decklink Duo card right here for video capture. Cooler Master. The Cooler Master, the case, and the cards are from the old machine. I did not change that out to try and save some money. And of course, I had a different power supply. I just had grabbed the wrong power supply from the last build. So it looks like it's running pretty well. We're going to go back over here. And it says press F1 to enter BIOS. And my Rocat, let's plug it into a different USB port. Not exactly sure. There we go. F1. I must have plugged it in the wrong spot. All right. Look at that. There we go. It's hard for me to see. So I'm just going to do it this way. I still can't see it that well. So basically, it's showing me. I can't move that. Hopefully you can hear me. Dang, how do you use it? How do you use a computer? Uh, you know, just like any other computer, I guess. I don't know. It's a good question. All right, I'll bring that back down. So, all right, so yeah, it's showing me the ProArt Z790 Creator Wi-Fi BIOS 2302. I'm going to raise up a little bit. So I don't know if that's the right BIOS. I'll have to look at that. We're in easy mode right now. So if I go to advanced mode, I'll be able to see a lot more. It shows the fans that I've got in there, and that looks right. I've got two Kingston 32 gig RAM modules in DIMM A2 and B2, like it suggested. CPU core voltage is 1.3 volts, and we're at about 43 centigrade. Yeah, 43 centigrade, so that's 110, 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Inside here, we have 3 pieces of storage. No. Yeah. It says that there's 8 gigs in HCI. That's interesting. I got my C drive in there, the Kingston, and then the Samsung SSD. That's where I store all my files. But what's missing is the 8 terabyte. Oh no, that's that third one. That's the 8 terabytes in HCI. That makes sense now. Fan control is working pretty good. It's not overworking. All my fans are working. That's great. No lights, but I think that's because I just didn't hit the button. That's okay. And I'm not doing any overclocking. I don't overclock my computers because I'd like to keep my computers around as best as possible. Pump is at 2200 RPM. Perfect. So it's passing liquid through into the radiator and back and forth. So everything looks good here. That's the light. So we have, let's see, the lights. We have the OC guide. We can test our memory, the resize bar. Let's see. We could go to advanced mode. That's F7. So F7. There's the advanced mode right there. BIOS information. Once again, I don't know if this is the most current BIOS on this. I will check that once I connect up. Right now, nothing's connected. No Wi-Fi, no nothing. And I did transfer the chip, the Windows chip, from the old machine to the new one. So what's probably going to happen is going to say, hey, this is a new hardware, and I just got to re-register it. It's not a big deal. So everything looks in place at this point. I didn't RAID anything. This does have the ability to do RAID, but I didn't have any SSDs to RAID in there. And let's see. So everything looks good. So what we're going to do is we're going to say save changes, or yeah. No, save changes and restart. I think that's, yeah, we'll just say okay. Let's see what happens here. I had to think about this. I haven't done this in a while. Asus BIOS is 3602. Thanks, Mind's Eye. What did I say was on there? I already forgot, like 22 or something like that. But I will definitely update the BIOS. I bought some parts a few years ago, and the guy there threw in a Cooler Master case the missing RGB thing on the front, and CM sent me one for free. That's awesome. That is awesome. So, all right, what's happening right now is, I think, yeah. Computer is rebooting a couple times now. You saw the Asus logo, in search of incredible. And now it sees the C drive, so we're going to load into Windows. And I'm not going to get past that point. I think that we'll have a successful thing. We'll go back into the BIOS and see how everything's working. As you can see, it's trying to figure out what's in this thing. But ultimately, and this is one thing that I really like about Windows now, is its ability to move over to another machine. If I prepared this a little bit better, I probably would have gotten a new NVMe drive. I probably would have reinstalled Windows, but I need to get back in the machine so I can finish up some projects, and then I'll probably restart and refresh this whole thing. So, and some people say, well, you don't want to do that. You want to start fresh Windows 11, but I've done this so many times that I feel very comfortable with what I'm doing. And like I said, when I get to a point where I can do it, I will do it, definitely. But I want to make sure that everything's good, because once again, I just want to make sure everything's good. So, all right, here we go. Getting ready. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch away because it's going to ask for my passwords. Can't see that, sorry. There we go. Look at that. Now at some point, I'll show you the desktop. Nothing there. Oops. Nothing there to fret. So it looks like everything's back in and up and running. Awesome. Eventually in the next day or two, I'll probably get a prompt saying, hey, this Windows got moved over into a new machine. You have to re-register your copy of Windows for it. And I'm expecting that a whole bunch of updates are going to happen, including the BIOS update. But I'm going to let this run for a quick second. Looks like everything is in place, and I am going to go ahead and restart and get ready to go into the BIOS. And I don't remember if it was F1 or F2. I think it's F2. Mind's eye goes 28 ***. So we'll find out in a second here. Oop, I didn't hit a button in time. It's going right back into Windows. Do you hate it when that happens? We're restarting again. And this time I'm just going to hit F1, F2, delete, once the keyboard lights up. There we go. Phew. Okay. All right, we're back in here. Of course, the date and time is off, but that's okay. Looks like everything's still going. We are at 51 centigrade. So I'm going to, once again, you just have to watch that for a couple weeks when you put the new processor in to make sure that it's not overheating. But it looks like the motherboard temperature is at 29 Celsius. I said centigrade, Celsius. And 53 for the processor for what we've done so far. And that's fine. Once again, all the fans are still going, so it's definitely spinning heat in one direction. And if you have fans, if you don't have fans going, taking everything into an even flow, if some fans are blowing out this way and some are blowing out this way in a case, you might want to rethink your fan setup. I believe, yeah. All right. So we're good there. Good there. What were we? Oh, yeah, BIOS. It says BIOS is 2302, and mine's I. You say it's 28 something. All right. I'll have to look into that. But right now, everything looks good. I'm happy, and I think that we're good to go. So next thing I'm going to do is close up this case and put it back where it was, and once again monitor the temperature and make sure that everything's going to be good. But everything looks good on this right now. And then sometimes even with a BIOS update, it could actually even make the computer go better. It might less cool, because new instruction sets and everything like that. Fixes. So right now it's saying 54 Celsius, but I could put a BIOS update and all of a sudden it goes down to 45 Celsius, for example, because less instruction sets are running and new pathways. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So Mind's Eye goes, Dell works now for getting into BIOS. The most updated Asus BIOS, I believe, is 3602, and you can access BIOS by delete. No, well, yeah, I could, but I don't have this hooked up to the internet at all. So that's going to be the next step, is connecting it up and then doing all the updates. So I will definitely do that. And also, because my regular keyboard and mouse is connected up to the laptop right now, so we could do the stream. This keyboard will go back to the other machine, and then I'll have this set up on my regular system, and then run it that way. So, yeah, I don't see any other issues. We're at a steady 54, 55, 54, yeah. And then, of course, when I start really pushing the system with like live streams and things like that, then we'll see how that really works. So, all right, that's it. That's awesome. So, really excited about this. You can see it right there. Everything is good. I'm not sure why. Well, fan speeds they're not smart fans. It's just they're just spinning as they spin. So maybe I will look at some upgraded fans, but they're quiet. I mean, the computer is right next to the microphone, and I don't know, you guys can't hear those fans, can you? I didn't think so. So, I'm happy. I'm going to put this back together, and then I'm going to be ginger on the first few things, and definitely be making sure that everything is backed up in the right spots. Because if everything goes cattywampus, then I could lose more than just the CPU, and I don't want to do that. So, but anyways, just so you know, everything that I got here, I got from Newegg. You can also get it through Amazon. I got some links in the live stream here of everything that I have. I'll probably put some more in as we go. Mind's Eye goes, I found Afterburner provided different CPU temp than the BIO provided from fan, a slight hum. Oh, fan, yeah. I would guess a little bit of a hum comes through from the fans, especially when I turn it on and they just like that. But Afterburner provided a different CPU temp. Okay, that's good to know. I will check that out as we go from there. And I still have one more SSD. This SSD to put back in. This is the cache drive, and yeah, then I might put in some more drives. We'll see what happens. But right now, I can get back up and running and get back into the videos that I was editing before this went down, and yeah, and all the files. And once again, like I said, the files are going to get backed up. So if for some reason this computer goes down again, then I can work. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Didn't take as long as the first one, but I didn't expect it to, because it was all about getting the CPU and the memory in. Some key takeaways for this. Once again, the CPU is treat it like paper glass. and don't hover over it. Don't wipe it down with anything unless you know exactly what you're doing. If you bend a pin, your motherboard could be toast. You break a pin, your motherboard could be toast. You can fix it, like I said, but it takes a lot of delicate movements. Not impossible, but you just really have to be very careful with it. So, Mind's Eye gives me a clap. Thank you very much. I clap back. So, I'll do that in the chat. Didn't even spell it right. That's okay. That's a millennial thing, right? Something like that. All right. So, on the aspect of Geekazine. So you guys, first of all, t-shirts. 80s Jesus saved me one floppy at a time. Got the other ones. I love this. Ah! On Amazon, where you can have framed prints, and of course Geekazine, and then this is the AI T-shirt. Geek AI is what it's called. You can find that down there or on Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. Guardian of the Geekery. That's another T-shirt. Here's the 80s Jesus saved me one floppy at a time. The shirt I'm wearing right now. And then the other shirt that I just put together is I like geek butts and I cannot lie. I got a couple more shirts coming very soon. That was another reason why I needed to open this up so I could get into Photoshop and make sure that those files are saved. So other than that, once again, hey, just support through Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine or through the links below. Appreciate it very much. I think all those links that I have on this are from Newegg. And I'm trying to not cross product because some of these live streams, some of these people that or as you're, I don't want to say these, sorry, I didn't mean to say some of these people. Let's start that over. When I pick items for the live stream, well, I bought these items through Newegg, so I'm very happy with that. But sometimes there's better deals at like other stores, and that annoys me that I can't get everything through the same store. So I'm trying to match for each video the same store with the items. So if I say that there's a processor from Newegg, then the motherboard's I'm gonna link to the Newegg for the motherboard and the memory. That way, you're not buying from 5 different stores. That's the only reason why I say that. So, but other than that, I think we're good. Yeah. The other thing is, if you checked out the music at the beginning, and I'll play some of the music at the end while I'll let this spin and see if this gets past 55 Celsius just on its state right here. So some of the music that's going to be playing for the next 5 minutes is from Suno.ai, and the name of the song is Building a Machine. I wrote the lyrics. So these are the different variations of Building a Machine. So enjoy, listen, and watch as the computer kind of spins. I know, it's not much to watch. Let's see if I can get this down here a little bit more. There we go. I don't have the lights going. Let me get the lights going. Be very careful. Where is that? There it is. I guess those lights are not working for some reason. Okay, sorry. Now, here's some of the songs. Building a Machine.
I'm building a machine.
Geek out, folks.
Building a machine, building a machine, building a machine, making it look clean. Fans will spin so quietly, why? I'm building a machine, it's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you knew. And the power is all inside. machine, building a machine, making it look mean, a super fast machine, building power and it's lean, a powerful machine. It's alive. It's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you do. And the power is all inside. I'm building a machine. I'm building a machine. I'm building a machine. It's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you do. And the power is all inside. It's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you do. And the power is all inside. It's all inside. Building a machine. He's alive. Building a machine. All inside. Building a machine, building a machine. is all inside. Building a machine, building a machine, building, making it look mean, a super fast machine. Building power and it's lean, a powerful machine. It's alive, it's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you knew. And the power is all inside. Building a machine, building a machine. I'm building a machine, building a machine. It's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you knew. And the power is all inside. It's a fun thing to do. It's not that hard if you knew. And the power is all inside. It's all inside. It's alive. All inside. I'm building a machine, building a machine. 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 I'm building a machine, building a machine.